Welcome to the shadowy world of the Kinahan Cartel, a criminal empire that has evolved from a local Dublin gang into one of the most feared and powerful international crime syndicates in the world. In today's video, we're diving deep into the rise of the Kinahan Cartel, an organization that now stands alongside the likes of Italy's Camorra, Mexico's Los Zetas, Japan's Yakuza, and Russia's thieves-in-law. But this isn't just the story of a crime syndicate, it's a tale of power, violence, betrayal, and the astonishing reach of criminal enterprises. The early days. Dublin's emerging crime lord. Our story begins in the 1990s, in the gritty streets of Dublin, where Christopher Kinahan began to make his mark. As a key player in the local crime scene, Kinahan supplied drugs to the city's burgeoning youth gangs, establishing himself as a significant figure in Dublin's underworld. But as his influence grew, so did the internal tensions within his group, leading to a fracturing of alliances in the early 2000s. This split set the stage for a decade-long feud that would claim many lives and sow the seeds of a brutal gang war. However, Christopher Kinahan was a man with ambitions far beyond the confines of Dublin. Following his release from prison in 2001, he expanded his operations, learning languages like Spanish and Dutch to forge international connections. This strategic move saw him relocate to southern Spain, closer to the lucrative European cocaine market and far from the bloodshed he left behind in Ireland. In his absence, leadership of the Dublin faction fell to Freddie Thompson, who quickly solidified his crew as a formidable force. With direct drug supply lines from Kinahan, Thompson's crew thrived, while their rivals were decimated, nearly wiped out in the ongoing feud. Building an empire. The rise of the Kinahan Cartel. Under Christopher Kinahan's leadership, the cartel flourished. No longer just a Dublin gang, the Kinahan organization transformed into a multinational criminal enterprise, distributing drugs across Europe and amassing immense wealth. The cartel's success, however, did not go unnoticed. Law enforcement agencies began to take a closer look, and in 2010, Spanish police launched Operation Shovel. This major crackdown led to the arrest of several cartel members, although Christopher himself managed to evade charges, thanks to insufficient evidence and whispers of corruption within the Spanish police. Despite this close call, Operation Shovel exposed the sheer financial power of the Kinahan Cartel. Investigators discovered that the cartel's reach extended far beyond Europe, with investments and assets scattered across the globe. It's estimated that the Kinahan organization has generated over €1 billion through a vast array of criminal activities, making it one of the most profitable crime syndicates in Europe. Enter Daniel Kinahan. Boxing and bloodshed. As the cartel grew, Christopher's son, Daniel Kinahan, began to play a more prominent role. In 2012, Daniel co-founded MGM Boxing, later rebranded as MTK Global, which quickly became a major player in the boxing world. But beneath the glitz and glamour of the boxing ring, there were dark undertones. Rumors swirled that the company was a front for money laundering, and Daniel's involvement in the sport raised eyebrows in both the criminal underworld and law enforcement circles. Despite Daniel's attempts to clean up his image and distance himself from the cartel's activities, internal tensions within the organization began to surface. These tensions erupted into violence in 2015 when Gary Hutch, a former cartel associate, was assassinated in Spain. This killing came after a failed attempt on Daniel Kinahan's life, igniting a vicious feud between the Kinahans and the Hutch family. The Regency Hotel attack. A turning point. The feud reached a terrifying climax in February 2016 during a boxing weigh-in at Dublin's Regency Hotel. Hutch's gang launched a brazen assassination attempt on Daniel Kinahan, but their target narrowly escaped. However, in the chaos, David Byrne, a key Kinahan associate, was gunned down. This brutal attack set off a wave of retaliatory killings that left nearly 25 people dead across Europe, marking the deadliest gang war in Irish history. The Kinahan cartel's power was on full display during this conflict. They were able to hire hitmen from abroad, including a notorious Estonian assassin, to eliminate their rivals. The violence was shocking, even by the brutal standards of the Irish underworld, and it sent a clear message. The Kinahans were not to be crossed. A new base of operations. Dubai. As law enforcement intensified their efforts to dismantle the cartel, the Kinahans made a strategic move. They relocated their base of operations to Dubai, a city known for its luxurious lifestyle and, crucially, its lack of an extradition agreement with Ireland. From this new base, the cartel continued to dominate the European drug trade, with key members like Thomas Kavanagh, known as Bomber, running operations in the UK. The Kinahans' influence extended far beyond Dublin. They were a major supplier of drugs to street dealers in Liverpool, using a network known as County Lines to distribute their illicit products across the UK. Despite the increased scrutiny from law enforcement, the cartel seemed untouchable, with its leaders living in opulent mansions in Dubai, far from the reach of European authorities. The walls close in. US sanctions and global pressure. But the Kinahan's days of impunity were numbered. In 2022, the US Department of Justice took a decisive step, offering a $5 million reward for information leading to the arrest of the cartel's leaders. This move, along with the freezing of their assets in the US and the Emirates, dealt a significant blow to the Kinahan cartel's operations. The international pressure, combined with relentless efforts from the Irish Garda, began to take its toll on the cartel. Key figures were arrested and assets were seized, disrupting their once untouchable empire. However, despite these setbacks, the Kinahans have proven to be remarkably resilient. Daniel Kinahan's involvement in boxing, which was initially seen as a way to launder money and gain legitimacy, has now backfired spectacularly, drawing unwanted attention from law enforcement and the media. The cartel's future. Paranoia and power struggles. As global investigations intensify, the walls are closing in on the Kinahan cartel. More than 200 companies linked to the cartel have been identified, many involved in drug trafficking and money laundering. The organization is vast, but it's also facing significant internal challenges. Paranoia is growing within the cartel, with suspicions of a leak within their inner circle. The once unshakable trust among the cartel's leaders is beginning to crumble as they face the very real possibility of betrayal from within. Yet, despite these troubles, the Kinahans remain a formidable force. The organization is structured to survive even if Daniel Kinahan is captured or killed, with layers of leadership ready to step up in his place. However, the cartel's power is waning, and other criminal organizations in Ireland are starting to circle like vultures, eager to take advantage of the Kinahans' weakened position. A shifting landscape. The battle for Dublin's underworld. The Garda fears that the Kinahans' diminishing influence could lead to new power struggles within the Irish underworld. One of the most prominent emerging threats is the so-called Family Gang, a group that has been steadily gaining power in Dublin. With the Kinahans on the defensive, these new players are looking to assert their dominance, setting the stage for a potentially bloody battle for control of the city's drug trade. The Kinahan cartel, though battered and bruised, is not yet defeated. Their future remains uncertain as law enforcement agencies worldwide continue to close in. Will the cartel's leadership fall, or will they manage to adapt and survive as they have so many times before? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. The story of the Kinahan cartel is far from over. The rise and possible fall of a criminal empire. From its humble beginnings in the streets of Dublin to its current status as a global criminal empire, the Kinahan cartel's rise has been marked by ruthless ambition, unprecedented violence, and an ability to adapt in the face of adversity. But as law enforcement closes in, the cartel's future hangs in the balance. This saga serves as a stark reminder of the dark underbelly of global crime, where the pursuit of power and wealth often comes at a deadly cost. Stay tuned to our channel for more in-depth stories on the world's most notorious criminal organizations. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on the hidden histories of the criminal underworld.